That's ursula@pacifica.org. I'm Suki Wessling in beautiful Santa Cruz, California.
Hey,
Thank
y'all,
you for
Keep 1
listening,
Million
and
show.
see you next week
Coming
on
live.
Sprouts.
Dwayne and Sean.
Views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Desert Soul Media and its board of directors. Thank you for listening.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is Ramses Ja.
And I go by the name Q Ward.
And we'd like you to join us each week for our show, Civic Cypher.
That's right. We discuss social issues, especially those that affect black and brown people, but in a way that informs and empowers all people.
We discuss everything from prejudice to politics to police violence. And we try to give you the tools to create positive change in your home, workplace, and social circle.
We're going to learn how to become better allies to each other. So join us each week for Civic Cypher.
You can find us right here every single Saturday at 8 a.m. on KRDP 90.7 FM.
Broadcasting from the Phoenix Center for the Arts, you're tuned to KRDP Jazz and Indie, where the Valley comes to talk, sing, connect. KRDP Apache Junction, Goldfield Ghost Town, Phoenix, 90.7 FM in the East Valley, and online at Listen, the number 2, KRDP.com, a service of Desert Soul Media.
Views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Desert Soul Media and its board of directors. Thank you for listening.
This week on the Keep 1 Million show, the NFL is logjam at the top, and we're going to discuss who is the best team in the NFL. We're also going to get into NCAA football as the Michigan Wolverines are once again being investigated by the NCAA, and USC's Caleb Williamson is saying some interesting things about what he wants when he's drafted in the NFL. We're also going to get into the Las Vegas Aces winning back-to-back titles. Is Becky Hammond next stop, the NBA? We're also going to talk about James Harden, a no-show at practice. Is he up to his old shenanigans? We're going to get into that, and preseason NBA, and also playoff baseball, Diamondbacks, Phillies, Houston, and the Texans. We have all that, plus more, everything in between and beyond the sports world. So keep it locked right here on the Keep 1 Million show. Let's go.
Oh, there we go. What are you on?
I am on mic 3.
I'm in like 3 leagues on this thing.
Yeah, I'm in like 4. I'm in like 4 leagues. Well, one league is just we didn't pay any money for it. We just messing around. But the other league, I just gotta.
Early you paying for it?
The other leagues are pay, but it's funny because the one league I paid the least amount of money for, that's the most competitive one. That's the one I talk so much trash, man. Like that's the one I want to win the most, even though I paid more for the other one.
Son of a bitch. Oh. That's so crazy. One league right now. I got 2 quarterbacks that always play against the Giants. They just switched in Sam Howell played against the Giants, and my other quarterback is Dak Prescott,
Oh,
and he's on the bye.
yeah. We got like 40 seconds left on that.
Okay. Damn it. I need to type in. Oh, okay. Alright, I'm gonna come on right now.
We've been waiting for a long time. Yes, we've been waiting for a long, long time.
And we're back. I'm Dwayne.
Sean Pate.
It is the Keep 1 Million show. We're live on KRDP 90.7 FM,
Yes, sir.
October 19th, 2023. Once again, Thursday night football. Jags versus the Saints. The Jags are up at half. It is 17-6.
Yep.
And you got right now the start of the third quarter, 17-6. Trevor Lawrence, 15 for 21, 146 yards.
Okay.
Derek Carr, 15 for 26, 128 yards. And Travis Etienne has 2 touchdowns. And New Orleans only kicked 2 field goals. Travis Etienne, 7 carries, 30 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jacksonville at 4-2. If I'm not mistaken, they're leading their division. How do you see their seasons has been going since they've been really going back and forth
Well, Jacksonville.
with here and London? I mean, that's basically their second home.
Oh yeah.
Like, how do you see this? You think they should win this division? And you think they can hold on? They're literally a game up on the Colts at 3-3, and Houston's 3-3.
Yeah, they should win the division. I don't know about them in the playoffs. Like, you got Miami, you got Kansas City, you got Miami, Kansas City,
Buffalo.
and Buffalo. So
Right.
I mean, Jacksonville will make the playoffs, but I don't see them really getting to the Super Bowl or anything like that.
No, I don't see them in the Super Bowl. I see them possibly winning the division.
Yeah, they might win that first
Because-
round playoff game.
You have the Texans with a rookie quarterback, and Indianapolis Colts. Richardson, their rookie quarterback, is injured. He's out for the season with a shoulder injury. So he's waiting to get season-ending shoulder surgery, which is messed up because he was possibly going to be rookie of the year, possibly one of the a great quarterback this season. C.J. Stroud with the Texans has been doing extremely well with only 1 interception this season, with 9 touchdown passes.
Oh, okay.
So it is the division for the Jaguars to lose, right? You got 2, rookie quarterbacks there in that division. Trevor Lawrence is, I guess you could say, he's a veteran now. He's been in the league with 3-4 years now. So, he's actually looking for that you know, either that 5th-year option or a new contract. He's he's the next up for a big time contract, and I think this would be the year if they wanted to go back to the playoffs, and he puts up some big numbers late in the season. Yeah, he's due for I wouldn't say a market changing contract.
No, I wouldn't say
but
that.
But it'll be in that realm of the $40 to $45 million a year.
Because there's another quarterback. He didn't get paid yet. Who's the other quarterback? Did Joe Burrow?
He just did. Joe Burrow did get this year. He did, and what's funny is he did get his big time contract.
Okay.
And then they went, 1-3, and they're barely starting to come alive right now. He's injured and whatnot, so it doesn't look good for the Bengals, but it seems like they're turning it around.
Okay. Yeah.
They're about to turn things around.
Yeah,
so
they are looking better than they did at the beginning of the season.
Exactly. But on the other side, the Saints, on the other hand, they don't look that good. You bring in Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara comes off suspension.
Oh, he was balling too.
He's doing well, but on the quarterback side, Derek Carr is not doing well this season. Yeah. Getting sacked a lot. And not sure he's hitting the wide receivers. Their game plan is very, very dry. Very 3 and outs. You got Taysom Hill as your another running back. He's 2 for 12 right now. Kamara 9 for 26. And you got Chris Olave, Michael Thomas. He had 2 targets. He has have a catch this game. Derek Carr has already fumbled the ball. So, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's their offensive line that's really bad. I haven't really been watching them like that. The Saints, I did unfortunately pick them to win the division, and I was wrong.
The NFC South, right?
Yeah, I was wrong because you have Tampa Bay over there, and they're doing okay. There's going to be one of those divisions where the team that's 500 or just a game over, a game under 500 is
7-9.
Right, 7-10 this year.
7-10. Yeah.
Remember, you got an extra game.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I believe I picked the Saints as well, but now look at that, I'm like, could be wrong about that one.
Right,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I really thought Derek Carr was gonna be that. I want to say that guy, but a guy that can get them, possibly.
I thought he was gonna be solid.
Winning there you
Solid,
go.
yeah.
That's the best analogy of that. Solid that can manage the game. Whatnot.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be like he was. It was a couple seasons ago, and before they went to Vegas. It was before they went to Vegas. The Raiders, the season before they went to Vegas, I believe.
Yeah.
When he had a really good season, I thought he was gonna be like that, where he wasn't all-time great or anything, but he was good enough to win games, get him to the playoffs. I thought he was going to do that in New Orleans.
Yeah, only 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 1,299 yards for the season right now. He is what he is. I guess how you can say. He is what he is. So, the issue is, they're 3-3 right now. Which, they're still in the hunt as far as their division right now. But I think Tampa Bay may pull away from them. And
I can see that.
Yeah, right now, see, they're all tied. Tampa Bay's half game above them.
Yeah.
Falcons and the Saints are 3-3 apiece. Panthers 0-6.
Yeah. Tampa Bay is better than what I thought they were going to be.
Yeah. With Baker Mayfield, I remember I was clowning Baker Mayfield in in training camp throwing ducks and missing his targets, but he's a more of a better game manager than Derek Carr right now.
Mhm.
So moving to the games coming on this week,
Yes, sir.
it's some real big games.
Yeah, it's a couple big ones.
Yeah, and you have Lions Ravens.
Mm.
I'm gonna call some games. Let's just
Yeah.
do these picks.
Yeah. So you got Lions.
Lions and Ravens. Lions are 5-1, by the way.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Baltimore's a 3-point favorite at home. What are you picking?
This is tough. This is tough because the Ravens aren't what I thought they were going to be this year. I thought they would be like 5-1, 4-2 by this time. I'm gonna take Ravens at home.
Ravens are 4-2.
Oh, they 4-2. I thought it
They
was
are
3.
4-2.
So I apologize. I
They
thought
just
it was 3-3.
This last game, they lost the last game.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the Ravens. I'm gonna take Baltimore. I'm gonna take Baltimore at home.
I'm gonna go Lions.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Lions.
I can see them winning. I can see them winning.
They got them dogs over there. I messed around. I think I picked. Did I pick Green Bay to win the division? I don't remember, but
I think we both picked Detroit.
yeah, they may mess around and win, but the Ravens are great at home, so that's a tough one. But I'm gonna go with the Lions. I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Okay.
Speaking of the NFC South, Falcons Buccaneers for that NFC South lead. Said Bucks are 3-2, Falcons are 3-3. Tampa Bay's a 2.5-point favorite at home.
So you said it's Tampa Bay and Atlanta.
Yep,
And you said Tampa Bay's at home.
Tampa Bay is at home.
I'm gonna take Tampa Bay.
I'm also gonna take Tampa Bay myself. They had the creamsicles last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the creamsicles last week.
Yeah, that was crazy.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm looking at the scores last week, and yeah, they lost to the Lions 20-6. So those creamsicles didn't work. Might as well throw those in the trash. Like I said, I think I did pick the Lions because of those jerseys. That's the like I said, that's the old school Steve Young jerseys. That's the Steve Young days. I had to show some young guys, that about that. I didn't even know Steve Young played for Tampa Bay.
Played for the Bucs,
Didn't even know.
Yeah.
I was like, look, here's some footage. You gotta YouTube it. And I was like, oh wow, he's pretty good. Like, he was.
Those are throwbacks.
Mhm.
Those throwbacks are popular.
70s, yeah, they are, but the team, they can't win in them. So I wouldn't.
Well, they didn't win on them when they was wearing them
Exactly.
back then.
They're cursed. They're cursed. So I wouldn't even bring those back. The game of the week, possibly the game. I won't say the game of the season, but this is a precursor. Dolphins, Eagles, both 5-1.
That's tough.
Sunday Night Football. Philly's a 2.5-point favorite at home,
Yeah,
and they're coming out with their throwback Kelly Green jerseys.
I don't think they. I don't believe they have a curse with theirs, but that's tough because they should not have lost to the Jets. They gave that game away, and so they should be going in 6-0. But they did lose. Loss is a loss. That Dolphins offense is just. It's just.
It's next level.
It's next level. I mean, it's crazy. But I remember years ago when the Philadelphia Eagles played the St. Louis Rams, the greatest show on turf. They didn't get blown out then. I mean, and that's comparable to this Miami offense. So, but still, you know what? I'm gonna say I'm gonna go against I'm gonna say the Dolphins. Dolphins, yeah.
You going against your team?
Yeah, but I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna say the Dolphins. I'm saying
For
Dolphins.
me, it's the tough one. The thing about it is, I'm not sure how good the Dolphins' defense is.
You know, that is a question mark.
Against this running game of the Eagles. And you got the tush push. Everybody knows what that is. They're on the 1 yard line and they just push Jalen Hurts in.
That offensive line.
There's
like,
a lot of controversy with that if it's legal or not, but it's legal.
The push, you can't pull them across.
Right.
But push, it's a push. But I believe Lane Johnson is hurt though. So if Lane Johnson's hurt, that's why I'm picking the Dolphins because Lane Johnson is extremely important on that offensive line.
Right. Exactly. And man, hold on. This is a tough one. I might have to go with the Eagles once again because of the jerseys. You know, they go on. I can't even think of his name right now. Those green jerseys. What's a player with the green jerseys? They you know what I mean? They go on Reggie White. You know. They go on Reggie White with those green jerseys. Randall Cunningham. That's who I was thinking.
Reggie White, Randall Cunningham. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those teams.
Jerome Brown. Them boys. Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna say they're gonna get some brotherly love. And pick the Eagles.
Okay.
I was gonna do the Niners Vikings, but I think the Niners are gonna blow them out. That's Monday Night Football. Niners Vikings. Another, I would say, a good game should be.
Which game?
I'm gonna say Colts Browns.
Oh, Colts Browns.
Colts are 3-3. Browns are 3-2. It's at home.
Cleveland
is a 3-point favorite.
Is that home for who? Indianapolis?
Yes.
Okay. Is Deshaun Watson playing?
He's actually not playing.
Okay.
But before you make your pick, we're gonna go to break.
Okay.
We're gonna come right back with more Keep 1 Million Show.
Are expecting a teenager.
That was a good
learning
call.
the lingo.
That was a good call. I didn't even realize we had 22.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right
shorter,
here.
better way to say jelly.
Wait a minute.
Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Never completely ready to adopt a
Carter, they
teen.
didn't play
For
against the
late
Jets.
nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners, where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
They don't say nothing about Lane
Adopt
Johnson,
US
but he is
Kids
hurt.
and the
I
Ad
remember
Council.
them saying he was injured.
Okay, you see if he's playing or not.
Yeah, it didn't say on the website.
All right, we're back. Keep 1 Million Show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
And we were just getting into NFL picks. Cleveland Browns are on the road playing the Indianapolis Colts. Both their starting quarterbacks are out. So you got Garner Minshew versus, I'm not even sure who the quarterback is. I don't think it's going to be Deshaun Watson. It said Deshaun Watson here, but I'm not sure if he's playing. I would have to triple check that one.
Yeah, this is what I'll do. If Deshaun Watson plays, I'm going with the Browns. If he doesn't play, I'm going with Indianapolis. Because Garner Minshew is he's a solid backup quarterback that can win you some games. Yeah, he did it with the Eagles last year. You know, solid backup. That's the type of backup you need. Somebody that can come in when you if he has to play 3 games, he can win 2 out of 3. You good.
So Deshaun Watson did return to practice this week, but they're not sure if he's going to start.
See,
PJ Walker might start.
yeah.
So he has a shoulder injury on his throwing arm, and Kevin Stefanski said, "We'll continue to be careful and safe. Make sure that when he's ready to do his job, he has the ability in terms of being able to throw the football. When he's ready for that, we'll have him back out there at practice." He did practice this week, but it's uncertain if he's going to play.
Okay.
I would, to be safe, Cleveland fans, PJ Walker most likely is going to start. And with that, I'm going to have to go with the Colts.
Yeah, I'll go with Indianapolis with that one.
Now, it's funny though, Gardner Minshew is kind of like member Fitzpatrick. He has one or two really good games and then one or two extremely bad games, but the good games are so good, it's like, well, maybe he should start the rest of the season. And if it's like, oh no, he have 3 pick sixes, stuff like that. So, that's going to be a very toss-up. Most likely a really good game. So, we both picked the Dolphins.
No, didn't you pick Philly?
I did. You're right. I picked Philly. Okay, I picked Philly. You picked the Dolphins. We both picked the Bucks. I picked the Lions. You picked the Ravens.
Yes, I did.
And you had the Browns or no?
I had the Colts.
We both got the Colts. Now it's 24-9. Jacksonville over New Orleans.
Yeah, you can't win games kicking field goals, to quote Shannon Sharp.
You can't. Absolutely can't. Derek Carr just threw an interception. Was that a pick 6? Maybe it looks like. I'm looking at. Yeah, it was.
Pick 6. Okay.
I can't pronounce this guy's name, but he does have a pick 6, 24-yarder.
Okay.
So it is 24-9, and if your defense is doing that, I'd like to see the footage of it, because 9 times out of 10, wide receiver jumps to coverage, the quarterback doesn't even see them, and that's where you go with your pick 6. So once again, Derek Carr. This is what Raiders fans hated about Derek Carr.
Yeah.
He gets you into games and manages games and he wins games, but then he'll single-handedly lose games for you. So, speaking of the Raiders, Garoppolo, he's going to be out against the Bears with a back injury. Remember, he was carted off last week. So he's going to be out against the Bears. They're 3-3. The Bears are 1-5. It could be their rookie quarterback, O'Connell, or Brian Hoyer, who played, the rest of that game. So, moving on to college football, and there was some really interesting games last week, and there's some really interesting games coming up this week. As Alabama squeaks out a win versus Arkansas 24-21.
Close one.
Yeah, great game. Washington versus Oregon. Washington beat Oregon 36-33 with a last-second field goal.
Yeah.
Tennessee beat Texas A&M 20-13. Oh wow, Arizona with a huge upset, beating Washington State 44-6.
Oh.
Notre Dame beats
the
brakes off of USC 48-20.
I didn't.
Caleb Williams had a bad game.
I didn't think Notre Dame was that good. I was like, to beat them that bad.
Their defense was good. He threw a couple interceptions. He threw a few interceptions there. And then was it Thursday or Friday night? That huge upset with Stanford beating Colorado. What were your thoughts about that game? Because I fell asleep thinking, oh, they got it, they have it, it's over, it's 29-0.
Yeah, that game, right. I went, was watching a little bit, and then I was like, okay, they were up. But then I went and did something else, was doing something else. Then I looked at my phone and said, oh, they up 29-0. I was like, okay. I was like, they up 29-0. And then next thing I know, when I went back to look at it, I was like, they lost? I was like,
right.
So, classic example, not counting chickens before they hatch and everything, and that's a game that actually when I looked at Colorado's schedule, that's a game I had them winning, because I always
they should have won that game.
I always said I had them going 7-5, and now they're probably gonna go 6-6, still get to a bowl game, winning 6 games.
The thing is, that team was 1-4 at the time.
Yes, they were.
And for some reason, it seems to me like either they were just, I don't want to say unfocused, but distracted or something. I mean, there was chippiness on their sidelines between Dion and Shador and a couple other players. Looks like a lot of missed assignments on defense. And my question is having all those celebrities out there, is that distracting the players? Do you think?
I think so.
Do you think all this hype and all this spotlight is distracting them? Basically thinking, okay, well we already arrived, so you go up 29-0 and you just take your foot off the gas completely, and then there's a wide receiver that torches your best player for over 240-something yards. and with Travis Hunter, it seems like they may be giving away too many snaps on offense and defense. He was great on offense, but terrible on defense, but he's a defensive player, supposedly.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to pick a side with him. Either he plays offense or defense exclusively.
Yeah, I say leave him on as a D-back. He was defensive back exclusively. And to answer your question about the celebrities, I believe it is a distraction. You gotta remember these are 18, 19-year-old kids. Some of these players on Colorado are in their early 20s, but still they're still young. I mean, you have Cam and Mace out there. You got $1 million worth of game out there. You have these players know who they are. You don't need all that.
Right.
You don't need all that.
Even at a Stanford game, they had celebrities there. I think it was Anthony Anderson and a couple other people, in Colorado on their sidelines. And yeah, it seems like, you have games where they start real slow and then towards the end, Shador brings them back. Now, this past game, they started fast and then just put it on snooze in the rest of the half and lost, So it's very interesting. Dion made a interesting statement saying, he wants players that love the game, not just like the game. Either you love it or you like it. If you like it, he don't want, so.
Okay. All right.
I think it's the thing when he said he needs about 7 or 8 more dogs, as he said. These are players that are extremely focused, highly motivated. They don't need, outside motivation, and I think that's what you can say these are 3 to 4 star players at best that he has from the transfer portal. They've only been together about 6-7 months, maybe a little bit longer. Unlike a team like USC or even Stanford that's been together for years. They got juniors and seniors on their team. The coach been there 5, 6, 7 years, and the experience matters no matter what. If you're good or a player or not, experience matters a lot. So it's some growing pains, and for people that think Colorado because Deion's supposed to be this, undefeated team and win the championship. That's not going to happen. It just takes years and years to cultivate and recruit and my thing is his Deion and Colorado's most important day is signing day.
Yeah.
That's their most important day. This season is basically training, for him, for his staff, for the players. Once he gets the players he absolutely wants to recruit coming in, and he can coach them up, him and his staff, and possibly gets better staff, that can add on. I think the next year and the years to come, we're going to see a totally different, more focused team.
Yeah, I said it before that I believe that this team is going to be really good in the next coming years. As soon as he gets that D-line and that offensive line, get the dogs on there, on those fronts, and then I believe that in about I say in about his third, fourth season, that's when you're going to see the Colorado Buffaloes. You're going to be like, yo, they're going to make the playoffs. That's what I believe.
Could be, and remember, next season they're all moving to the Big 12.
Yes.
This is the Pac-12's last season, which is unbelievable. Because this, by far, I haven't seen the Pac-12 this good in years. Now, going to Caleb Williams and USC, he had a forgettable game. He was 23 for 37. 199 yards, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions against Notre Dame. And he came out, I guess his representation came out and said they want equity ownership, part ownership in a NFL team to whatever team he's drafted. I had to think at first that was a fake account. I looked at it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, right. That's
I thought it was fake news.
That's fake.
Well.
And then I kept reading it on other platforms, and there was on ESPN and on all these other websites, and people were talking about it this morning. I'm like, this is real. Someone really said that on his quote unquote camp.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe it's legally possible, because I don't believe you could be playing for the team and own it at the same time. Now, I know this is the NBA I'm about to reference, but I remember when Michael Jordan played for the Washington Wizards. Well, he owned I believe he owned 20% of the Wizards, something like that.
Yeah.
But he had to sell it back to play on the team. I believe it's like that in the NFL as well. I don't believe you can play. You can own a team and play one at the same time. I believe it's in the bylaws or something like that.
It collective bargaining agreement. Matter of fact, Aaron Rodgers tried that going to the Jets, and the guy, they basically laughed in his face like, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So they say no to a established future Hall of Fame player, championships, MVPs, and you haven't stepped in the league yet. You're still literally playing college football and saying this. Yeah, it's that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, one person on Twitter said, "Can you prove to us you could play quarterback in the NFL first?"
Right.
This reeks of Johnny Manziel a little bit, like how Johnny Manziel came in the league. You're putting a target on your back and everything now. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
That's true. And he's a great player.
Oh yeah, he's great.
He's a great player. But right now, you got Penix Jr. of Washington. He's basically the lead candidate for the Heisman right now. And if they run the table, because now they can possibly run the table, win the Pac-12, may go against Utah or USC again in the Pac-12 championship. Mm-hmm. If they do that, yeah, he's definitely going to be the winner of the Heisman. Great player. If y'all didn't watch that game against Oregon, I would say go back and watch the highlights. It was an excellent game. Penix Jr.'s story is a great story. 2 ACL injuries when he played for Indiana. He was out. I think this is his fifth year senior. Transfers to Washington, and everything's clicking for him right now. So You know, that's one of the college football stories everybody's looking at. I'm going to go to break in a little bit, but before, I'm going to pick some college games because there's some huge college games.
Let's do it.
Week 8. Ohio State versus Penn State, 2 6-0 teams. Third ranked Ohio State, 7th ranked Penn State. Ohio State is a 4.5 point favorite at home. Who do you got?
You said Ohio State's at home?
Yep, and a 4.5 point favorite.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a Penn State fan, but I'm gonna take Ohio State because they playing at Ohio State. I'm gonna take the home team.
I'm gonna go Penn State.
Ooh, you got them going in there.
I'm gonna go Penn State.
Got them going in there with it. Okay.
Huge upset. Huge upset. It may be because I'm biased. I'm not an Ohio State fan, but
no, I'm not either.
But yeah, I mean the thing is though, Ohio State wins those games usually. You know, if I'm not mistaken, they're undefeated in the past couple of years in the Big Ten. Besides getting beat by Michigan, those are the only 2 losses that they've had, and you know, especially at home at the Shoe.
Yeah,
they should win that game, but I think Penn State may shock them, not blow them out, but keep it close, and at the end maybe that game-winning field goal at the buzzer. So I say Penn State. We're gonna come right back. We're gonna pick a couple more college football games. So keep it locked right here on the Keep 1 Million show.
Is there? Yeah, man, that's gonna be a crazy game. Ohio
Las
State.
Vegas is the next one. Okay.
Say what?
I'm trying to think what else is to talk about the Las Vegas.
Oh, the Aces.
Right.
Yeah. We can do the college picks.
Yeah,
and then go on the Aces.
So. Okay, coming back. And we're back. Keep 1 Million show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean Payne.
90.7 FM on KRDP. And we're talking college football.
Yeah.
You have Ohio State beating Penn State. I have Penn State beating Ohio State. 2 6-0 teams. The next one I have is Tennessee versus Alabama. Alabama's 11, Tennessee's ranked 17. Alabama's 6-1, Tennessee's 5-1. Alabama's at home and they're a 9-point favorite.
You know what? The reason why I'm gonna take Alabama is because I remember last year when these 2 teams played. They played in Tennessee, and Tennessee rattled them. The one wide receiver had he had 5 catches. And 4 of the catches for touchdowns, you know. So, but I'm gonna take Alabama because they playing at home.
I'm gonna take Alabama too. Revenge game, and you know Nick Saban he gotta beat the coaches that beat him. I mean, he still hasn't beat Georgia yet.
Oh yeah.
But you know, he definitely a Tennessee or a Texas, and Texas they beat them twice too. So. You know, you got to be on that revenge tour. So, I'm going to get Alabama. The next one, Florida State versus Duke. Florida State ranks 4. Duke's ranked 16. Florida State 6-0. Duke is 5-1. Florida State is a 14.5-point favorite at home.
I'm going to say Florida State.
Yeah, I'm going to take Florida State. They're if you've seen Florida State play, they're playing really great. They're playing really great. This is the first time they've been this good in a long time.
Yeah.
Long time. Because Clemson's not really good this year. The only team they probably will go up against North Carolina in the ACC. They're undefeated still. It's Florida team's conference to lose right now, and I think they possibly can sneak into the playoff if they could. If they stay there, stay undefeated, win the ACC, possibly. But USC, Utah, 18, USC, Utah's 14. Both of them, USC 6-1, Utah's 5-1. USC's a 7-point favorite at home.
Playing at the Coliseum, okay. This is tough because Utah beat them last year.
Yeah.
And they beat them pretty handily last year. They just got blown out by Notre Dame. I'm gonna say they come back. I'm gonna say they win this one.
I'm gonna have to go USC as well because I don't see them losing 2 in a row. But the problem is their defense is not great, and Utah, they got a running game that can, help the play action pass and throw it, over the top. So it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I say USC. I think Caleb Williams is going to have to bounce back from that horrible performance. So I say a close game, but USC wins. I didn't even check the rankings, but you got Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State. Those are your top 4. Wisconsin, Oklahoma, Penn State, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
Texas, Oregon, and North Carolina rounds out your top 10. What's crazy is Alabama's out of the top 10. They're at 11. I don't remember the last time they've been out of the top 5 in the past 5, 6 years.
The Saban years?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. So, some teams, North Carolina, Penn State, even Washington, these are teams that are brand new to the top 10. Even Florida State, and college football's changing. You got the NIL, the transfer portal, so parity, is going to be prevalent in the future. Especially with these changes in realignment. How these players want to go, the movement in recruiting, how recruiting is gonna be in the next few years. It's going to be very interesting. So.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting how this is changing the landscape of college football. Plus, like you just said, the realignments and everything. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen.
Yeah. Now, the WNBA just had their championship finals. The Aces beat New York Liberty 70-69 on the last second miss. I think it was, if I'm mistaken, it was Brianna Stewart who missed the 3-pointer.
Yeah, I believe so.
And Ajay, what's her name? Aja Wilson, finals MVP. Is she the real MVP?
I always believed she was. I believe she was the real MVP. I really do. I believe she won Defensive Player of the Year, and I honestly really did believe that she was going to win the WNBA MVP. And when they announced that she didn't, I was like, wow. I was like, whoa. So she had a point to prove. She had something to prove. Now, what I will say is, that team that they played, the Mystics. They played the Mystics, or they played the Liberty. Sorry, Brianna Stewart. She's no slouch. She's no slouch. She's good. Her and what's the girl name?
Sabrina Ionescu.
Yeah, her. Yeah, she's.
Jones.
Yeah, they got a good team.
Yeah.
It's just that the Aces are just, man.
Yeah.
Well, very well coached team.
Yeah. Speaking of that, now we all know Becky Hammon. She had a few interviews with NBA teams in the off season and the season prior, before taking the job with Las Vegas. In this NBA off season, do you think she most likely would get interviews with teams that, fire coaches again? Do you think she takes that? If they offer her a job, a head coaching position, maybe Toronto, Charlotte. She was with San Antonio for so long. We don't know what Popovich is going to do. Now he has his next unicorn. So, he may stay another 5 more years.
Yeah.
Any of these teams that are, very bad, that's, not going to be maybe Chicago, Washington, one of these teams. Can you see her jump into NBA, or you think she's going to stay?
I can see it. I don't know if they're going to offer it to her, but I can see it because she's a great X's and O's coach. So she is respected. But I had wanted her to stay in that San Antonio frame because it would have been an easy transition for her than going to another team. Because, believe it or not, there are going to be some players that may not want to play for a woman. And some organizations may not want to take the chance. But I believe she deserves the chance, like a lot of men deserve the chance. But she really does. So it wouldn't surprise me if she got hired by a team, but then again, it wouldn't surprise me if she didn't.
Yeah, we still have that, issue when it comes to women in sports, but she's one of those, I think, rare, highly respected coaches in the NBA and obviously in the WNBA, but going in the WNBA, first 2 seasons winning championships, only the 3rd team to win multiple championships in the WNBA. They're definitely going to go for a 3-peat.
Oh, yeah.
If they keep their whole, team together. And that's the thing about WNBA is the only good thing about them not making that much money is the fact that they can keep the team together. Because the money's capped at a certain amount, so it's not like they're going to jump ship to another team because another team is going to give them a lot more money. So they can, keep that core together for years and years to come unless something else changes financially in the WNBA. But if they keep this team and she coaches, it could be 3, 4, maybe more championships there, and she may want to stay. It looks like, she found, she said in the press conference is the, best team she's ever been around, closest team she's ever been around. So,
yeah.
With that being said, that she may stay, but money talks.
Yeah. And
money talks.
And I don't want to hear anybody say anything about the whole locker room thing with her coaching men, because we have men coaching ladies in college and men coaching
and in the
WNBA. And the locker room thing is not brought up. So, and I know some people say, well, nobody's bringing it up, but it will be somebody that probably brings something up about that.
One of those archaic writers, back in my day type guys, but yeah, it's a new day. So
yeah, because I coach young girls in basketball. It's real easy. You just wait, and then one of the girls will come out and let you know when everybody's dressed. It's like right there, and then you navigate through.
Before we go, moving on to baseball, Diamondbacks here just beat Phillies 2-1.
Yes.
This series is now 2-1 Philly.
Yes.
Game 4 is coming up. Now, right now, Houston is beating down Texans 10-3.
Oh man, they scored a lot since last time I saw that score.
Yeah.
Last time I looked at it, was like 5-3.
Right. It should be. This series is gonna be tied 2-2, unless Texas make this some miraculous comebacks in the top of the 8th inning right now.
Nah.
First time we've ever seen 2 Texas teams face each other in the championship series. I'm not sure I was gonna go if Houston wins. This may go all 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
Now as far as the Diamondbacks Philly game, I think Philly's gonna beat them. I think it's gonna be a gentleman's sweep. I think Philly's gonna.
Oh, you think so? Yeah.
They're gonna adjust and
Yeah.
win here in Phoenix, then
They'll
go
take it
back
to Philly
go
and
back to Philly
close
and
it
win
out.
it. Yeah, I think so. What are your thoughts on your team?
I believe that.
Phillies again. Can they make it to the
Well,
the World Series?
I will say this: last year when they lost to Houston, the manager for the team, he got the players when they went back into the dugout and everything. He got them together and he said, he told them, he said, remember this feeling. If you don't ever want to feel this way again, let's get back to work. So I believe that the team and everybody in the organization on the mission to win the World Series. So will they? We'll see. We'll see.
And how is it going? Is possibly could be a rematch.
Yeah,
That'd
possibly.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah, so you got some NBA scores, preseason NBA's here.
Oh, it is.
And we didn't even get into right before you go, James Harden.
Oh yeah.
He's a no-show practice.
Yeah.
2 days in a row. I mean, he can be fined. He probably was fined, but if he misses preseason games, he could be fined up to $360,000 a game.
Is that $360,000?
Yes. It's only preseason, but it looks like he's not. He doesn't want to be on this team, and sources are telling Stephen A. Smith that Darren Williams actually lied to him because he told him he's going to give him a max deal and trade him, and obviously none of that happened. Does he have a gripe? I mean, I don't know. Just came out this past week also that the Clippers do not want to trade for him right now, trading with Terrence Mann. So it looks all bad for James Harden right now, especially how he's older, how his production's kind of went down, and also how he plays in the playoffs.
Yeah. The playoff play is a problem because he doesn't show up in the playoffs, and then somebody said this on Twitter or X. Doesn't show up in the playoffs, and then he asks to be traded 10 months later. So, who really wants to trade for that? Mm-hmm. It's tough. It's tough to get. It's tough to get what you want when people are looking at Harden. Like they're looking at him and saying that he's not the same Harden he was a few years ago, and he doesn't show up in the playoffs.
Yeah. The thing is, he's kind of reminding me of Carmelo and Iverson and that generation of players that would not budge when they got older. Those the scoring point guards back then in the early to mid 2000s.
Yeah.
And Allen Iverson wouldn't come off the bench, so basically it was nothing else for him. Carmelo Anthony was out of the league for a couple of seasons, and finally swallowed his pride and said, okay, I'm gonna come off the bench, and he had about 2-3 seasons, pretty good season before he retired. With Portland and with the Lakers.
Yeah, he did.
So he's gonna have to swallow his pride somehow, some way, because let's say he doesn't play for the 76ers again, and they could find a way to waive him, or somehow, some way, or keep him off the team and then trade him to whoever, because he's under contract. They don't have to do anything, to listen to him. Trade him somewhere, and then he's waived, because that can happen. A player, I think it was Kevin Porter Jr. That just happened to him. He was traded from Houston to Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City immediately waived him. So now he's without a team.
Yeah, he was having some legal
because
troubles.
some legal issues as well. But this can happen to James Harden too, if he doesn't get his act together. You know, so it seems to me like this may be it for him. He's looking for another contract, and to keep the 30-something million, you're not going to get 45, 50. I mean, look at the difference. For a regular person, I mean, it's like, come on, you're playing basketball. But the Clippers don't want him.
Yeah.
76 is like, hey, you going to play or not?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if any other team's going to want him.
Yeah.
Do you think any other team's going to want him before we leave, before we go?
Hard to say. I mean, it's always somebody that will take a Harden, maybe a contender. It's always somebody that'll do it. But it's real tough. It's just real tough.
And with that being said, it's the Keep 1 Million show. We'll come right back for the next hour.
At the stop sign for much longer than usual. She wasn't even really sure where she was at.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it. I felt so much better after my son told me. Mom will figure it out.
When something feels different,